Welcome back to Studio 701. As parents of young children in North Dakota, it can be hard to get outside, right? I mean, with all the winter months coming, it's coming. They're not here yet, but coming. It really can be hard to get outside.
It's hard to get that energy out. So our next guest actually might have some ideas for us. In today's Let's Talk, we meet Jeremy Olson, a contributing writer for Midwest Outdoors magazine. Welcome, Jeremy.
Morning, Jeremy.
Thanks for having me this morning.
You bet. Now, Jeremy, your articles are very family-oriented, which I really do appreciate. And tell us about your family and how, they inspired you to do what you write about.
Well, I grew up in the outdoors. I grew up in the Des Lacs, Burlington area here in North Dakota, trying to limit myself to hunting and fishing 8 to 9 days a week. And then, life gets in the way of that. We went to college, traveled the country doing broadcast television for 10 years. And but then started a family and came back to North Dakota so we could raise our family here. And we have 3 boys and a daughter. And they're 20, 18, 16, and 14 this year. And just what I write about in Midwest Outdoors is all the good things and bad things and tough things and fun things that happen when we raise our kids in the outdoors. And then the other big thing, it's, for any parent out there, it's there's a lot of information about becoming a parent, but there's not a whole lot of information out there on what it takes to raise kids. And a lot of my articles are just about raising kids, and we just use the outdoors as a great avenue to do that. And you're seeing some of the imagery there of what we write about. And we started with a series called Raising an Angler, which I have the opportunity to teach a seminar on that with my 2 older boys, and just have fun doing that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, it's fantastic to hear you talk about all that and to see the pictures of the kids outside ice fishing and, really knowing the North Dakota outdoors. So I know you have an upcoming article in January. What can we expect from that January article, and why should we check it out?
Well, what's cool about January article, because of the COVID stuff, we got I guess maybe a little more serious, and there's been just the questions that have been coming back to me as an author and a parent, and we mentor a lot of parents out there, is, what do you do with kids through all these tough times? And, my December article was called Juggling, because, we want to go deer hunting and fishing and all these other things. How do you juggle through all those? Well, one of the other struggles that all parents have is, what's the right thing to do with our kids? And our January article is called Picking a Destination. And we pick a destination where we want to go fishing this weekend or where we want to go on vacation for the summer. But when you're a parent, it's even more important to pick the destination for your kids and where are they going to go in life. And the first step to that is understanding your kids and who are they. And a lot of parents think that they got to raise their kids to be something everybody wants, when the reality is we need to raise our kids up in the way they were made. So if we have a talented artist, we need to raise a talented artist. If we have an athlete, we need to raise a talented athlete who just loves and serves God and lives life and is a good member of society. And that's what our article in January is. And what's cool about picking a destination for each of your kids is all those what do we do? Yes and no questions really kind of answer themselves when you know where your kids are going.
So, Jeremy, I have 2 young boys. They're 4 and 6, and I would be considered what you would call very indoorsy, but they are not. They're they want to be outdoorsy, and I want them to be outdoorsy. So I have a question for you. What would be a good activity for me as a father that is not outdoorsy at all? What would be a good activity to start? To maybe where I can learn to be a little more outdoorsy and also get my kids involved in the outdoors?
Well, I think the first step is what's something they ask or want to do, they see. In a normal year, I would say, let's go sledding.
Yeah.
But the weather folks have really messed that part up of Christmas break this year.
We went sledding yesterday, and it was bumpy.
Yeah, and so I don't I think everybody gets caught up on what the right thing to do is. And if you check one of my posts just recently, quality time is time. And anything you do outside with your kids, whether it's building a snowman, whether it's going ice fishing, skating, there's just so much stuff to do in North Dakota. And one of the things I found out about kids is they love to be outside. They love to do activities out there. And I think one of my uncles said it best is they always come home when they're hungry or cold. And so one of the tricks that I do when my kids were little is I would wear the lightest coat I could and bundle them up. We'd go out and have fun. When I started getting cold, we went back in for two reasons. One, if a kid says, I've had enough or I want to go home, you've been there too long. You should always end an outdoor activity before, or an indoor activity, before they ask to quit. And I always leave them wanting to do that more, because then you have that, they have that longing to go out and do that again. But the second part is, if you quit early, then there's not a negative outdoor experience. And then after that, it's just whatever you can go do. And there's so many things to do. Bird watching in the winter, chasing squirrels. We've chased a lot of squirrels in the park and stuff with our kids when they were those ages. Just go out and do something.
Well, thank you so much for your advice.
Thanks, Jeremy.
We are going to leave everyone wanting more. To learn more from Jeremy, make sure you check out his hunting and fishing tips and tricks, as well as his very solid parenting advice. That's at GoSpeaks.live.
And coming up next, there's some things